In this video, let's take a look at the Scrambled Prose animation. You can see it's going on here. And what I've set it up to do in this case is I've taken a dingbat font here. And it's being used scrambling first, just for fun. And then I used a font. And so the nice thing about this effect is you can actually do either just one or two fonts. You can have a different font or dingbat font like I've done here. Play to reveal, and then, or you can use the same font itself, or another kind of creative idea would be use a different weight of the same font. Let's say I have an italics or maybe an extra bold or something like that. And you can see here that we've got the ability to set the font sizes for those. And so some fonts might be, you might select a different font that it just naturally looks bigger. And if you want to make them equal, you can use these two settings here to make them appear more equal as they're revealing. So what we can see here is that what's happening is there's random kind of the scrambled font here. It's randomizing them as it's displaying them and sort of like just revealing that. And it starts, of course, from the beginning and then comes down to the end of the font there. And if you are Hebrew or Arabic, you can use the right to left feature, and that's going to go in the opposite direction. So let's see here, when I paused it, there's my dingbat font. This one is, I can't remember, I think it's called Damned or Dingbats. It's a funny font. I don't know that I don't think that's available anymore. This is one of those a decade ago fonts, to be honest. But anyways, this is, let's move on down. You can see here, this is with the text that I put in. Let's go back off right to left. And let's come down. You can do obviously center. You can specify a color for the scrambled font and for the reveal font. That's going to be, of course, particularly important if you use the same font for that, just so you can see some kind of difference. Now, there are a bunch of different modes here, and I recommend that you just check these out. I don't want to go through them one by one, but they are pretty self-explanatory until you get down to here. You know, it's going to do all cap letters and all lowercase and so forth. So that's going to be mainly, I think, the scrambled text. That's what's going to be, you know, scrambled, and it's going to resolve at the words there. I could be wrong about that, but just experiment with those. We'll just give you some variety. And then you see here there's a series of controls here. The scrambled refresh rate is basically going to, the longer, the bigger the number here, the longer it takes. It's going to scramble the letters more. In fact, you know, it kind of works out to it scrambles, like let's say go about halfway here. And one of the results, notice that this is about 15 seconds. One of the results is it's going to make the animation go faster. So see, I've cut off about 5 seconds of that animation. And looks like I've inverted those. It's funny. Yeah, sure enough, I did. So there's, if I select Shift B, by the way, it's a shortcut to get your new font, your fonts. So there we go. I'll apply that. That's funny. I don't know how that switched. That's an interesting little thing there. Maybe a bug. I'm not sure. Maybe because I selected some of these. But anyways, this is going to reduce the amount of time. Time to read message is going to basically add a pause at the end, right? So it's going to give them time to actually read the full message. The presumption is that the people are starting to read it as it comes out, but you might want to add some extra time there so they can read the full thing before moving on to another animation. Vertical spacing is really the distance between here, right? And then all the padding options are really the distance between the top, bottom, left, and right. Now, sometimes, depending on the vertical spacing here, the padding may not be, you know, really kind of relative or actually mean anything, because it might, you know, there might be enough space more than that 50. So, for example, you see I added this 75. Let's make it even more here. Let's make it aggressive, like a 100. And if I do that, it should squeeze in the lettering a little bit more, and it might actually start to get to where you see how the left and right of this is a little bit more, and so it's going to be a little taller now. So you can basically kind of try to get it to fit in a little bit better here. Now, notice that if you are using a select a screen area and you specify a small area, the padding may make it very difficult to fit in that area. So you need to accommodate for that. You need to be aware that if I select only a small region, like the upper here, for example, there's not going to be 50, 50 and 100. If I apply that, it's just not going to make sense. So you can see here that it just doesn't, it's not going to fit in that square area. So you need to be a little bit logical when you're applying these and using some of these features, just to know that you really can't tell it to do something illogical and expect a good result. So just bear that in mind. If I was going to do something like that and I wanted padding, I would really need to reduce the padding quite a bit. Something down. I'm just going to in fact, I can go in here and edit them. So I'm just going to make it 8 and 8, and then I'd really need to also reduce the font size if I was going to do that. And I'm not even sure that's enough. Let's go ahead and take a look and apply it. But yeah, you see that I would need to play with this a little bit more. I definitely would have to reduce the vertical leading substantially, and almost certainly bring that font down even more, something like 12 by 12, or I don't know, something really starts to be feasible. Yeah, so that's starting to work. So that's something that there you go. So that now that actually works, and so you might have to play with these things in order on that. Really, this kind of thing applies to all the animations. If you set something illogical in the select area combined with the settings, you need to be aware that you're going to need to twiddle with them in order to get it to work in a legible and workable way. So that's it for the Scrambled Prose font or text effect here. And thanks a lot for checking this out.